Yo, what's up guys? So I thought about doing some malware instead because, I'm trying to switch up on the channel. I mean, it's essentially just applied version of the encryption algorithm that I did a while back. But yeah, it's just that I kind of got bored with it a while back and made it automated, like the malware. So it now searches for a file and then encrypts the file when it's found it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's get cracking with it. Obviously this is for legal, advice on how to protect yourself. This isn't obviously me showing you how to code malware, obviously. But yeah, it's base 64 encryption, but I've applied it to a certain scenario in which it can be called malware. So it will search through, I've done it so it searches through like a whole directory, like a whole folder, and it looks for this specific file, and if it's there it then encodes it. Later on I then got bored with it, so I automated it, so now it runs all by itself, which is pretty cool. And I haven't coded in like a month or so I'm gonna have to step through it, remember some of it and then explain it to you guys. So that's what I thought I might as well be doing. So basically this is it. I've concatenated a program that finds files in a directory with one that does read and write and delete and encrypts, creating a user input program that encrypts files in a specific directory. Yeah, so that's just an overview of what the code does. When did I do this? I've lost the timestamp because I've opened it already, but I don't know, I did this like a solid while ago, probably like, I don't know, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. Probably longer than that actually. After completion, make it automated. Well, I did that because I've got it in my folder. So yeah, you just import the OS so we can use like system privileges and stuff like that. Import time so then we can have like delays. I think I've mentioned that in the other encryption thing I did. Import base 64. Base 64 is a type of like encryption. So I've concatenated encryption with finding files, so then you can encrypt the found files. So it's malware now, kind of. But obviously I don't think I'm going to show all of this. I might blur parts out because one, it's my code, and two, I don't want to be held accountable. I mean, I'll put a disclaimer in, but I still don't want my code to be used for malware. That's just logical. But yeah, obviously I might as well get the disclaimer out of the way. But obviously distributing it, which is kind of what I'm doing now on the video. However, I'm obviously going to leave parts out because I don't want to get arrested or held accountable if this code is ever used, just like how Marcus Hutchins got caught when he coded some malware a while back, But yeah, so I've got the code up on the screen. I'll show you, a fair amount of it. Obviously I'm not going to show you all of it because of obvious reasons, but yeah, I might as well just go through it. Because I mean, like, to be honest, I find it quite interesting, and like how computers can kind of like be manipulated with malware and ransomware and stuff like that. It's not even too complex, to be fair. I'm not sitting on my high horse. This is literally just a basic script I put together like 6 months ago or whenever. But yeah, so we have honestly, it's been like a month since computer science. I think this is a function, if not it's a procedure, but you get the point. And then directory 1, so input the path of the directory that you want to search. So that's literally just giving you the directory that you want to find the file in. So I don't know, let's say you wanted to find cmd, which is like the command prompt. You literally just do the system32 directory. A directory is just a folder, and it's like the path to the folder. And then yeah, so basically I obviously had some error here with the file search, so I just made it global and it worked, so I just left that in. And then the file search, so then we enter the exact file that you want to search for. I'm pretty sure this is including the format for the file as well, the file format. Entries, so you list the directories in directory 1, I would imagine, and then for every item it returns in entries. If the item is equal to the, so this is a linear search. This is literally just going through every single file in a folder and saying, oh, does this match what the user wants to search for? And then if it's no, then it'll move down to the next one. So it's like the most basic search algorithm. And then it will just return if it's in there, and then It'll go through encrypt file, which is this one here. Oh yeah, otherwise, you know, it hasn't found it because it's not in there. So this I wanted to find, like, I don't know, readme.txt, and it wasn't in the system folder, then it would literally just say file not found in whatever directory you put in. So the encryption, so if it is in there, it'll go down to the encryption, which is this function here. So this was really outdated. This was before I learned classes, so this was quite a while ago. But otherwise, you know, it'd be more efficient and I would have instances and objects. But you know, so yeah, so at this point, you would understand that the file is in the folder or in the directory that you want. So then the file is like opened in read mode. The contents is then read. Contents is then encoded, so then you can't read it anymore. And then you write these changes to the file, and then encoded. Wait, hold on. So you read the contents. Oh, okay, yeah. So you encode the contents, which is literally just making it ready for encoding. It's not actually encoding anything. So it just makes it so, I think it's bytes. I mentioned this in like the first video I did for like coding, but yeah. So that just makes a content appendable with bytes. And then yeah, and it's written to, so then it saves those changes to make them bytes instead of actual text. And then you encode the bytes with base 64 and held into a variable called encoded, which, you know, and then you write the encoded text back into the file. So yeah, and then you just get a little nice error message telling you that, you know, it's all been encrypted. I put a decrypt in here. I think it was because I was bored or something. When I'm normally bored, I normally put menus in, but you know, I'm obviously gonna have to cut some of this out because I've literally just explained the whole code. But you know, yeah. But the decryption, well, you've got a password, and the key is the decoded version of the password. I swear this is literally what I've done in the base 64 encoding video, so I don't think it's anything new. And then you enter the decryption key. You know, and then if it matches, then you get to decode a message. You know, that's quite basic. But yeah, and then these are just to call the file. So basically, obviously, this video isn't here to show off my leak coding skills, even though they are pristine. It's literally just to give you awareness and knowledge on how malware is coded, so then you can kind of protect yourself with it, because this could fly under AV radar, so you know, it wouldn't be detected by antivirus. But yeah, you know, you can add in other antiviruses and then test. I saw there's like a website where you can test if your code gets picked up. So that's a pretty good one to see if, you know, you would be vulnerable to certain code. But Python's really well known. So if you code malware in it, it's very unlikely to get picked up, unless it was like an executable, which would be like compiled instead of interpreted, you know, which is when it would normally get picked up if it's EXEs file formats, like, you know, like actual programs, because this is just a script that's interpreted because it's Python. Because like programs can either be interpreted like Python, or they can be compiled like C and a bunch of other languages. So the compiled versions are normally, the antiviruses are normally geared towards picking up compiled versions of code instead of actual interpreted versions. So Python code can easily fly underneath the radar, you know. I mean, if it doesn't, then you can always just add in more features just to make it, you know, fly under. But yeah, so this is just awareness, you know, legal malware, just to, you know, show other researchers that, yeah, this can be done, and, you know, it's obviously quite a big issue. This isn't so much so, it kind of depends, because I'm pretty sure this only works with text files anyway. I haven't really mucked around with it much. I made it and then forgot about it, and that's why I'm making this video. But, sorry, yeah, you know, like, if you want to see more encryption, malware, hacking, I did put out a poll on my story, like kind of recently, and a lot of people want to see hacking now, so yep, I'll get into hacking. I'll show you hacking, stuff like that, ethical hacking obviously, and then I'll show you some like vulnerability scanning and everything like that, so that'll be pretty cool. Everyone thinks hacking's like, you know, you got to be an elite standard, which isn't the case at all. You can literally, anybody can learn it, it's like code. So yeah, I kind of want to show that. I want to show that, you know, you don't need to be necessarily smart or have elite pristine skills to get into hacking. Anybody can do it, which is kind of why I've made this video, because a lot of people think computer science is hard, and it really isn't. I mean, you know, perspectives change and all that, but you know what I mean. But yeah, you know, like if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share the video, give me a comment if they're active. You know how to do the thing. You know, I'll see you guys later.